All right, everyone, welcome back. Welcome back, and come on in. We have a very ubiquitous, common sort of robot to show you today, but not always common with the box. So before we get into it, get cozy and comfy. Grab a drink, grab a coffee, a tea, a beer, a scotch, a rum, a whiskey, a snack, and get comfy in the chair because this is the best part of your day, the day where you can unwind and not think about all the BS that is going on, like crappy Disney movies, for an example. And look at a toy that's from the bygone golden era. 1961, according to the scribble on the box. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor and subscribe, because that would be awesome. And also share this if you go to like Twitter or TikTok or Fakebook or Facebook, whatever it may be, so that we can spread the word and other collectors can bask in the glory of the coolest toys on the internet, bar none. So with that out of the way, I have the Cragstan version of Mr. Robot. And every time I see this, I think of corny Styx, not to demean Styx, the band, not Styx Hexenhammer, the commentator, but I think of Styx's corny Mr. Roboto. So I might do a YouTube short and put it like 15 seconds of Mr. Roboto. I don't know why I think that band is corny. Maybe because their singer was more like of a Broadway kind of guy. And in the end, right? Like when he had his way, he became more of like that Hollywood type singer. And it just was not like really a rock star. Kind of like Elton John, right? You know, Elton John, he wasn't really a rocker. You know, he's a crooner, I guess. You know, great singer. You know, these are good singers, but they're not rock stars. You know, they're not like Robert Plant or Eddie Vedder, you know, or even Bowie, let's say. But anyway, so Mr. Robot in the red is like the more common version of this, although I've seen like some variations of this box, and I couldn't, and I guess maybe never could find my original box. So I have this toy. Somewhere I had or misplaced the box, and this came up on eBay, and the guy negotiated a very fair price. I'll tell you, it's actually $600, I think, with shipping. So I said, yeah, that's pretty decent. The box alone is really nice. We'll start with that. You know, I saw this scribble on there. I mean, I could actually send this to Anthony's. They can just take that right off, but I said, you know what, if it's 61. And I was looking at it thinking, man, I wonder if there's like 61 papers in there. Could you imagine you open this box up and there's like Lyndon B. Johnson's scheme to assassinate Kennedy in the box. That's the papers that were in there. And he figured, I'll hide it in Cragstan Mr. Robot box. Nobody will ever look in there. But alas, I didn't find anything. You know what? There is like some loose papers in there. Should I? Let's open it. Let's have our Geraldo Rivera safe moment, just to be sure, you know, because what if there was something cool in there? I think it's all this packing stuff. See? False alarm, fake news, no 1961 papers, alas. But you know what? It's still a cool box. And I wonder what papers he put in there. When I saw this on eBay, I just thought it was like somebody's name, like maybe 1961 Peter. But when I opened it today, now the box that he shipped it in was so flimsy, man. It's like a miracle that this thing didn't get crushed into oblivion. And I got to tell you, the whole side of the shipping box was crushed in here. And I had to look at the auction. Was this like a little crease there, or was it from this flimsy shipping box? But I think it was there from what I see from the pictures. So it was still intact. Thank God. I mean, you know, sometimes that's the risk you deal with. And other than that, the box is very nice. Very cool illustration of the robot. Very highly detailed, you know. I mean, it takes some skillage, you know, to make the robot look that lifelike. And you know, it used to be those things where I didn't like this depiction of toys, but then I got used to it. I said, you know what, the toy looks great, and against the white background, you know, the Jupiter robot, it works for that. So it's nice to have a variety. I normally like the spacey backgrounds, but when the toy is highlighted so effectively, I think it's cool too, because man, it pops at you, you know. It's almost like having a window box, right? Except it's just drawn on the toy, and it's still a nice illustration, although it has this nice yellow highlights that I really dig on the arms. And it makes it pop a lot more. A lot of yellow highlights that you see a little bit on the toy, not on the arms though. It would have been nice if they did it on the arms. So here's your figure here, and it's powered by the battery-driven motor. And of course, this is a Cragstan distributed toy. Man, I wish I was a toy distributor, because then I'd have like Ozzy or something written on there. And then these toys would live in perpetuity with my damn name on them. And that would be so freaking cool. So that's what it's, Mr. Roboto. Domo arigato, Mr. Roboto. Here's the side panel. Again, you can see a little bit of weathering on here, but still intact and square. Automatic, maneuvering, multicolored, babbity boop. And here it says Cragstan for toy, Cragstan for toys. I guess everyone likes their name on stuff, right? It's like a symbol of power almost, you know? Like we don't get pyramids, but you know what? We're a toy distributor. And we could put our name in these little red squares, and that's good enough for us. So there's your end panel. So they used the same illustration and just plopped it on all the panels. But I really like the box. And I'll tell you one thing. If you see reproductions of this box, which there are numerous, the illustrations, especially ahead, never looks that crisp. I mean, when you have the real box, man, it looks crispy. And before I pick this up, because it might turn on, the switch is so loose, just from gravity alone, it could drop into the on position. So I'm forewarning you. And I had an old one of these. This was one of my two custom robots I made with this body. One of my 2 tin custom robots. But he has this beautiful head that was cribbed, I mean, almost totally cribbed on an episode of Futurama. They have a robot that looks just like this toy, or very close to it. You can see here, this pressing of the body was used in a lot of different toys. Of course, they made this toy in red, silver, and white. I believe I showed you the white. Here's the bump and go drive. Does it have the Yonezawa stamping under here? I'm looking. Let's see if I see anything. Yep, right there. It may not come out on camera. I'm trying to angle it, but right there is the Yonezawa stamp. Very faint. I don't know why it would have worn out unless Cragstan was like, "Yo, bro, don't put your logo on my Cragstan stuff." Who knows how these guys thought? Of course, on the here it says "Made in Japan." Has this silver plate here that sometimes, or more often than not, oxidizes. And then, of course, you got your nice black chest piece, and sometimes that gets scratched up. The arms are just loose and dangly. I told you this thing is very loose to switch, but at least it works. Here's your side, and here is the aforementioned loose switch right there. So if it's in the off position, it just kind of drops down. And again, you got that color band in the head. I had one of these that I had to repair. I just put a little piece of Scotch tape and taped the head, because sometimes it separates. And it really has cool coils, and the head looks very brainy, computery. I love it. And then the face. The robot made a very cool custom for me, where John made something that looks very similar to this faceplate. I'm trying to think. Oh, it was on the Plasmo robot. So anyway, it's not like extraordinarily complicated. So let's just turn this puppy on. I may have to pick the camera up, but I'm going to start back here and see where he goes before I commit. Yep, I'm picking it up. The head is so damn cool. How could you not love this robot? Doing the Michael Jackson moonwalk shuffle. This is going to be a problem, because this toy will not want to turn off now. And I'm going to try to keep him off. I am going to try to keep him off, because that, my friends, is about as much as I can tolerate chasing this guy around. Oof. Well, bear with me while I get him in there. The final position. Well, you know what? At the end of the day, This was a nice working example. The box is very nice too, considering it's hard to find this box pretty clean anyway. And we got to see it work. So let me know what you think of the classic red, the most common color out of all these Mr. Robots. If you like it, thumb up the video, leave a remark. And as always, I appreciate your time. And with that, thanks again. And I, my friends, will talk to you later.